7,
8,
9,
10.
yes,
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Peace,
Hi.
peace, queen.
Peace,
So,
Queen. How are you?
I have been following this tattoo artist online for about a year now. And he is based in Europe. And I just saw that he is going to have a pop-up in New York City. And the way I'm about to get a tattoo by this guy, he does the most beautiful line work inspired by I think it's Northern African line work and design. So it's like lots of straight lines, beautiful symmetry, just gorgeous work. His name is Emmanuel_item. And I am so excited about my next tattoos that I want to get. And y'all should go check out his work and help me figure out what my design is going to be. But I emailed him and I said, Emmanuel, I'm going to come and get a tattoo by you. So that's something I'm excited about. I'm just trying to become a different person. And I'm also trying to become a different person with these faux locks.
Child.
Or this protective. I really need to not mess with my hair anymore. I'm very tired of my hair. I'm very discouraged by my hair. I know y'all said it looked nice, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And I want to just get up and go like the girls do.
No girls do that. It's all a lie. like what girls?
It's just the white girls
just
do
Amber Rose. Yeah, and the white girls.
But it's such an expensive style. Like these protective styles, these braids, like I can't afford $250 to $500 to walk away from them looking crazy. And I generally do. I generally do. And I don't know how to test this out without breaking my wallet. And if I try to do it myself, it's just it doesn't work either. Somebody help me.
Just
I need to figure out
your hair back. Look at this. This is a protective style, Shati.
No, it's not. It breaks my hair
out
off.
this bun all week. Listen, I still think it's the Chloe. What's her name? That's not her name. What's her name? Zoe Kravitz braids. I still think it's those for you. And
those
I don't think
very protective though. Because they don't last 2 months because they.
What?
Oh, Zoe. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about my girl Zazie.
No, not Zazie. Oh, I love Zazie. No, Zoe. Zoe with the thin, messy braids. I don't know. But if you search on the Instagrams, I know you can find it.
I know, but they cost like $850.
It's probably a white woman somewhere braiding the shit out somebody's hair.
They cost I have to just. That's my goal for me to try and get rich is so that I could get human hair braids like that. Because I know what you're talking about. Those are human hair. That's human hair that has like the looser ends, like messy braids. Mm-hmm. It's human hair is required for that, and that's like double. And no connect line up in there. No connect line.
I didn't know that.
Y'all, if you have the plug, if you know what I'm talking about, please help me to help. Give me some hints as to like, all right, you should just try this. Da-da-da-da-da. Because I have a small head.
Though, right?
Excuse me?
You don't like straight backs though, right?
No, I don't. No, I think I don't like my face. I think that's what it is. I think that's what actually at the root of it is I don't like my face. And then braids are like, oh,
you talked about self.
Oh my God.
I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that just last week you talked about self-deprecation.
I'm being serious. That's a serious thing.
Oh my God.
I'm dead ass.
Yo, your face is
like,
gorgeous. Oh. You just have a small head. And that's okay. I got a big head.
It doesn't work with the protective style. Small girls don't win.
Yes, they do. All the time. skinny bitches and
Small-headed,
small-headed girls. And
Neanderthal girls don't win, except for
somebody
Zendaya.
told me that my shoulders look like Optimus Prime, and I can't unsee it right now. So we're both going through things.
Welcome to another episode of Around the Bay Curls.
No, I really think that there's somebody in Brooklyn who's killing these braids, and we just need to find them. And if you're going to pay a bunch of money on a tattoo, which I'm a little insulted that you don't think that we should get a matching one, but that's fine.
We already have a matching one.
That's with everybody else. Maybe we should have our own matching one. No,
I think we should just get high quality. That's what I'm trying to. I can't tell you, but it's a gift. Now I'm telling you that I want to get a high quality chain, like a high quality.
I thought you meant get high quality. Like I said, high quality hoe tattooed on ourselves.
High quality hoes, but that wouldn't fit our description. So
anyway, I think you should consider though the tattoo with me.
What are we gonna get?
Oh no!
Chicken wings? We try to get chicken wing tattoo.
No.
I'm down, baby.
I've
considered that.
No, you haven't. If you show up with a chicken wing tattoo,
no, you haven't. She's gonna be so disappointed in me that I went.
It's going to be just like the booty hole brown girl. I'll be like, oh, shame. This is not it. This is not freedom or liberation. Anyway. Well,
how are you?
Y'all help Shanti out, all right? I'm okay. I have my Beyonce outfit.
Yes.
I don't know if it's going to work out because I have to wear a thong, and that's going to be awful, and I'm going to be dancing around, but here we are.
Since when? Anyway, I'm not even going to put your business out there, but okay into that.
Since when what?
Would you choose a thong over not wearing anything?
I don't. What are you trying to say? Say it with your chest.
I don't know if you want to put your business out there. So
I don't care. I'm not ashamed at all.
You would just not wear underwear. Like I don't know you to wear underwear generally. Like what to speak of the outfit. So this whole thong
There's
thing
a reason why I need the thong. It's because it's a high-waisted thong that might keep a certain bit stuck in. And then there's also a slit, a high slit. So I don't want things happening. It's going to be tricky, but it's going to be fun. Also, got some glitter sneakers. This is good. This whole outfit about to be a mess, but we're going to have a blast. Speaking of that, a blast. Can I tell this story that Jazmine told me last night? Is it okay? I want your permission because you ain't heard from me yet.
Yes.
Can I? Okay. So Jazmine calls me last night. Beyonce has landed in North America.
She's in Philly. Philly was the first.
Yes, Philly was the first North American stop. And so I'm like, why is she calling me she never calls me to sleep. So I answered, I'm like, are you okay? And she like, yeah, girl, what's Shanti's brother name? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? She was like,
don't say his name.
So I said his name. And so she goes, oh my God. I looked at him and I kept looking like, wait a minute. I think I know him. How do I know him? Because he's white. And so she's like confused. She's like, he kept bringing us drinks. And I was like, what are you talking about? Where are you? And she was like, I was at the Beyonce concert. And so she's telling me that he keeps bringing her drinks and he can hardly carry them. There's like 6 drinks in his 2 hands. And he just keeps flooding her with these drinks. And then on top of that, he's telling her it's champagne and it's actually beer. So she's pouring this beer into the champagne flute and drinking it. And so he keeps coming over and hugging on her, and she's like looking confused, but also looking like, wait a minute. And so Jay-Z's security was there, and he came over and was like, is he bothering you? And Jazmine was like, no, he's not bothering me. I think I know him. And so the guy's like, okay, because Jay thought he was bothering you, so you're all right. And she's like, yeah. So she says, finally he goes, I'm Shanti's brother. And she's like, oh. And she was like, she embraced him in her bosom, and they had like this big hug. And then he came back with like 15 more drinks. And she was like, she said we had so many drinks, I was passing them out to strangers, and he would not stop. And she said, I told him, you gonna get in trouble. You keep giving me all these drinks, and I ain't got no cash to like tip you or nothing. So then she's watching the show, and it was so sweet. I was so happy. People posted it on Twitter, and they like the camera got her on the jumbotron while Blue
Like 3 times they said
was dancing, and she's cheesing, she carrying on, she not thinking about nothing about your brother anymore. But then all of a sudden she says, "Girl, Marita done told me to look, and he getting kicked out." She was like, I have no idea why he was getting kicked out, but all I know is that Jay's security kept watching him like he keeps bothering her, and we're not playing that. And she was like, I tried to explain that he wasn't, but then when he kept coming back with all these drinks and I kept having to give him out, I think they got fed up. So your brother, poor thing,
Let me tell you something.
does he work at the stadium?
My brother worked at the concession stand at Lincoln Field Financial Field. Okay?
Field. Shout out to him.
Somehow, because he's a white man probably, he ends up from the concession stands in the bar in the Renaissance Club, which is the most exclusive part of the entire concert.
He wasn't supposed to be there?
And gets kicked out by Jay-Z. Like, I didn't know nothing about it until I wake up to a text of internet saying, Jazz said that your brother got kicked out of the Renaissance Club. And I was like, that tracks. Also, what? Shout out to him. I love you.
That was amazing.
Please get some help, because that's funny, but it's not.
That's a great story.
It's like an amazing story, but it's not. It is and it isn't.
No, so, he was having
fun. But that's
a
story. If you're going to lose your job, then you better be losing your job, because you was at a Beyonce concert giving free drinks and getting hugs from Jazmine Sullivan up to the point that Jay-Z had to physically kick me the fuck out. That's how I need to end my motherfucking job. Like, shout out. I love it. It's epic. It's epic.
Oh,
shout out
God,
to you. You know who you are.
That was so funny, but it so tracks with you and your family. I was like, this is the most random shit in the world, and it's perfect.
World.
The way me and her were cracking up last night, and Marita was like, I just kept thinking, like, when he said Shanti, I thought, I see it a little bit, because she didn't know.
She don't.
No,
we
she
have the same mom, different dads for all the listeners. So majority of my siblings are white, except for one. Man. So whenever I'm like, it's my brother, people are like, okay. But they really don't understand how it's okay. But
anyway, that was kind of him to look out and to try to make sure that she had her
and
beer
she said she liked his beer better than the expensive champagne.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say that, because that's his brand and we don't want to cause any problems. Anyway, the concert looked amazing. Our niece Blue Ivy had on heels. I'm gonna lose my mind. Can I tell you something? And we need to hurry up, but I was so hyped after she talked to me about this concert. She was like, internet, I was about to cry. She said the first 4 songs, it's like her ballads, and then it's a party. She was like, but during those ballads, I was just sitting there looking at her, and she said, I just felt myself about to cry. Like, what is happening right now? Is this person real? And she was like, and to feel the energy in the stadium, like, she said, I just wanted to give her all the energy I had, because it was amazing. She said, we're going to lose our minds.
She has.
I was so hyped after that, and thank God I came to my senses. But I looked up tickets to the show the day before we're going to go. A single ticket, because I was about to buy it for the Renaissance Club. I was about to do it because I don't like our seats, but I was about to buy it and say, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm going twice in a row, but I didn't do it, and I still may.
You should.
No, it's $3,000.
I cannot do that.
I should not do that. No.
If you can afford it, you should. If you can recoup that in 2 weeks or something, 2 months, 3 months, you should do it.
I can't recoup that. How?
Oh.
By living poor for the...
No.
will help
crack,
somebody.
girl. Figure it
Sugar
out.
daddies out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Baby girl wants to go see Beyonce. I'll even go with you. Slide in the DM. I'll check them.
That's it.
From
There
this
it
week
is. She
to the
might
next week.
rub on your shoulders a little bit.
They said, I thought that you don't care about our value and status. Anyway, all right. Moving right along. We got a lot of voicemails. Voicemails. All right. And just so y'all know, we have a guest this week. I'm very excited. We already interviewed said person, but we play a little game. This guest is heavy in the music world, and so I got my rocks off by asking him a whole bunch of hard questions about would you have Drew Hill, Jodeci, Boys to Men, or New Edition? Who do you choose? You got to get rid of one, and then who's the opener? Who's the closer? It's all very exciting. But until then, we're going to listen to some voicemails. And hopefully this works because this hates on me every week. So Shanti, can you put a timestamp in?
I can.
And I pray. Thank you, Queen. And it's not working. All right, hold the timestamp. Sorry, Monty. Every week, same shit. You know, speaking of music, my old choir teacher, Doreen Amaro, used to say, make a new mistake when we would mess up in choir. And I swear to God, that's how I feel every fucking week with these goddamn voicemails.
I don't understand. Say that again?
It's just
Don't
like
make
every
the same
week
mistakes?
I can't figure out how to get this Bluetooth to work. And it's just annoying. I'm sorry, Monty. And I know that he's somewhere doing this and being like, make a new fucking mistake.
I don't think he's thinking that. Don't project that into him.
Why? Because that's what I would be thinking. Like, bitch, tighten up.
Yeah, projecting what you think about yourself.
Jesus Christ. All right, ready? Set. Here's a timestamp. Go.
Well, the timestamp is actually when you
Oh my
messed
God.
up that he needs to know. But go
This
ahead.
shit still ain't working. Ready? Oh my God. Why won't it connect? Is this Bluetooth on? Yep, it's connected to the computer. Okay. Sorry, patrons. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is helping me deal with my perfectionism thing, though. Ready?
Hey, around the way, girls. Hey, Antoinette. I'm calling from Japan to talk about the episode where you're talking about the Keke Palmer and the My Booty Hole Brown situation. Okay, so I'm going to just get right into it. I think it is too much that we're trying to police each other in what we say. Now, I'm not saying I'm a conservative because I'm not a conservative, but at the same time, when I hear things like that for the first time, I do cringe because it's like, should we really be talking about our booty holes so publicly? But at the same time, it's so freeing to just say. Like, I may not say it in public, but in private, every once in a while, after a glass of wine, I will turn the song on and I will sing out loud that my pussy is definitely pink and my booty hole is definitely brown because it is. And
This is just compounding on it today.
it can be liberating to just think about and to just not have anybody else think about you and you saying that. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that makes me a liberal. I don't know if that makes me a conservative. I don't know if that makes me internally misogynistic, but that's just how I think about it. Yeah. So I think it's too much of us caring about what other people think whenever we feel okay or whenever we kind of chuckle saying these things. Love you much. Bye.
The meta of that. Now you're talking about the cringiness of booty hole pink pussy and saying it 1,000,000 times. That was enjoyable. I appreciate that.
Well, she said, at the end of the day, hers is, but...
She said at the end of the day, my pussy is pink. And my booty hole
My booty
brown.
I just hate it. I can't lie. I can't. I hear you though, sis. Maybe it is freeing to be able to say, what's the child's name? Sexy Red? Is that her name? Maybe she's liberated in a way that I'm just not. I'm tight. Like my booty hole in my pussy. I don't
Oh
know. I
my
can't say
God.
it. Give me a. I don't know. I can't. I didn't even like saying that, if I'm being honest. I want to cut it.
Oh, I love this for you.
Would you say it? I don't think so.
Probably. I mean,
Like,
I say shit. I say crazy shit, but like,
you
probably
say
not. I
crazy
don't know.
like political
I don't
shit.
have a, yeah, I don't have
It's
any,
it's the
of-
Libra. I don't like
I don't have a
crass
hand in this
things.
fight.
Yeah. You don't have a
Is
what
that
in
the
this
word?
fight?
Exactly. What is the proper, I said I don't have a hand in this fight.
Put your
What you
hands
supposed,
up. You from Philly. You said, I'm motherfucking hands up.
what is it though?
I don't have
What's the,
a dog in this fight.
oh, nigga,
I don't have
that's
a
a,
hand in this boxing ring. Gloves. All right, ready? All right, I hope this one's right. It could possibly be wrong. I have anxiety. No, they had to call back, I think, because. Ready? Go. 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 Why isn't this shit working?
Okay, so I think I got cut off the last time for whatever reason. This is Ruby calling back again. So, like I was saying, I was watching episode 272, and just a couple of thoughts on the conversations that you had. The first one being around, you were talking about affirmative action and Clarence Thomas and his buffoonery. And Shanti was like, you know what? We're just going back to segregation because they keep taking away rights. And I'm like, you know what? I have a couple of friends who feel like, you know what? Segregation was probably the worst thing for black folks because at the time of segregation, we had our own shit. We had our own neighborhood, social and economic systems and all that good jazz. And so it made me think, should we go back to segregation for like on downtown? I mean, as the old folks say, the white man's ice is not always colder, so why not keep everything in house, build back our own stuff. I honestly don't have any thoughts on it. I kind of feel like they treat us like second-class citizens, so I'd be damned if I can't get into their shit. But how do you ladies feel about it? Do you think segregation was a good thing or a bad thing? Secondly, Keke Palmer did a day. So I quite honestly didn't pay much attention to it because I was probably one of those people that was like, why does she feel some type of way? Like, he's shown her off on the internet before and she looks great. She go home to him every night, it's not that deep. But I'll probably send it to you on Instagram, but Blue Kaluzma, I think you all know her. But she had a really great take on it, saying that basically his statement was out of like jealousy and resentment of Keke herself, like jealous of her talent and how big and abundant her personality is. And he was jealous and resentful of that, and he wanted to knock her down a peg or two. And he tried to get other people to do that with him, but, the Twitter streets were not kind to him. So I'll send that video to you. It was a live on her Instagram page, but I'll probably send it so y'all can watch that and discuss it. But what are your thoughts on that thing? Like, it's just jealousy and resentment as opposed to, just him trying to, quote unquote, live up to his morals and standards as the man of the family.
Okay. Well, first up, the segregation thing. I'm gonna let Shanti speak to that.
I think that would be, listen. Ideally, the idea of black people, specifically economically, creating spaces in which our money is circulating within those spaces where we are supporting each other intentionally, where we are voting and discussion is very much about in-house kinds of things, and there is a unified discussion and organization. Yeah, that sounds really wonderful. I too think that there was great possibility that was squashed in integration, much of which was from white people directly. And it's really, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm just, sounds good. I don't know if that's possible without like straight up civil war in some kind of way. I don't know that. I think because of the past and how violent and intentional those types of spaces of progress, especially economic progress, was squashed by white folks. I don't know if, you know, I'd be really interested to see what kind of narrative, terrorist narrative or whatever kind of narrative would be put on that type of collective organization and change that would incite a lot of white people's insecurity. And that same kind of pattern would repeat, but sounds good. I don't know if it's, I don't know.
I think something to think about is also, and we talked about this Monday about, you know, Tulsa and Black Wall Street, where, you know, there was a community like that, Greenwood in Tulsa, that had that and was flourishing and thriving. And the black dollar did circulate, and they blew that up. Literally. And so now we're in a situation in 2023 where they say the black dollar remains in the black community for 6 hours. Not even a day.
Yeah, damn.
Not 6
Shout out
hours.
to Save a Collective.
So I think that separate but equal sounds good, but it's also a matter of resources. And so that's why reparations is so important. That's why it's like, well, if we're gonna separate, then how do we do that? Because, fix my words. With the history as we know it, the resources have been scarce when it comes to supporting Black and brown communities. So right now, I think for us, it's more about the mindset of not needing to live up to a white person's standard, the white man, play by the white man's rules, et cetera, et cetera. And it's hard to do that when you're living in a society that is run by said white man. So it's complicated. The Keke Palmer thing and the Blue Toulousma thing, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty spot on. I think jealousy, insecurity, yeah, it all plays a part. Yeah, I think that's, I don't have anything to add to that. No? Okay.
Yep.
All right, next up, Sheila. Go.
Oh, Joey is so cute on that message. This is Penny. I just finished this last episode and wrote down some quick notes for things that came up while I was listening. India Ari answered her own question. Is everything for everyone? No. And this is one of the things that isn't. Is the Sky Blue bitch? Plus, she's incorrect about this international export that is apparently the SNCF. We are actually one of those most prudish countries. It's titties all over Europe. Shaking ass comes from cultures outside of America. We're actually behind when it comes to sexual expression and, you know, looking at bodies as something more than sexual objects. We have to ask ourselves what she said because she thought she was spitting when it was actually inadequate dribble. It is not for white people. It is for us. And we do not fucking care what people think about something that is not for them. Antoinette, the Booty Hole Brown song, makes you uncomfortable because it's not the expression you would choose for yourself, which is fine. The problem is when people assert that what they would not choose, no one should choose. And that's what people need to shut the fuck up. And lastly, Antoinette, I love that you know that you have a cape for white men and that you use it. That's wonderful self-awareness. I love that. You guys have a great day. Bye.
Wait.
White men,
Wait. That last part.
That is one thing.
I don't think I have a cape for white men. I don't think I've ever said that. I said
you've never.
I have a cape for men, meaning black men and brown men mostly. I mean, I don't. That's terrible. I don't want to say I don't consider white men. That's not true. But they're not in the forefront of my thinking when I'm talking about men and how we should consider them. So yeah, and me saying I cape for men is a joke. I don't think I cape for men, if I'm being completely honest. I truly think I just consider them. And I think there's a difference. But I'm gonna run with it. If y'all say I cape for men, I'm gonna put my fucking cape on. I'm gonna get a cape. Watch you work. I'm gonna get a fucking cape.
We should have a cape for you for the show.
I'm gonna put it on. Like, all right, let me go get my cape real quick.
That is so funny. That is great.
Have we considered how
That's
they
a
could
great
feel?
idea.
How are we letting them down? Are we showing up for them fully? Anyway, Indiari, man, I think that's a great point. Yes, the booty hole, this booty hole thing, it makes me uncomfortable because yes, it's not how I would express, but I'm not hating on Sexy Red. Am I gonna go to a Sexy Red concert? I hope that's that girl's name. Otherwise, they're listening and being like, that's not the right artist, but I'm not sure. Am I gonna go to her concert? Probably not. When it comes on, will I cringe the same way I do my neck and my back? Probably. But, I'm doing the best I can. One day, maybe I won't. I'm telling you, just some stuff I just feel like it's a nice surprise behind closed doors. Your thoughts, Shanti?
Yeah, right for the my neck, my back thing, or the idea of, some things are for other people and not for you. When you mind your business, just let them be free, let them express themselves. No, I don't. You know what? You played the 2 clips ago, the episode 272, about how we responded to Darius, Keke Palmer's partner. And I did not hear you that entire episode until I watched that clip back. And I was like, oh, that's what she was saying? And
My girl.
I did not understand what you were. I didn't get what your argument was, and a lot of my initial flare up was like, oh yeah, she's offering this guy space in a way that he does not deserve. I think what you invite people to do immediately goes against the collective consensus we have around men right now of holding them accountable, holding their feet to the fire, canceling them if necessary, and that's all I could. That I just saw red when that whole Keke Palmer thing came up, and I did not hear what you said. So I'm so grateful.
I was saying that he was wrong. He was dead wrong.
You were saying you were wrong, but you were also saying the ways in which we are holding him accountable is the same. Is with the same tools that he uses.
He's wrong about
patriarchy, and I just could not understand that. This is really important. It made me think about bell hooks. That whole conversation.
One moment.
I'll talk about it.
We do this thing where we don't finish our statements. I cut you off. Can you finish what you were saying? The way that we were holding his feet to the fire. What? Is the same?
That was
what?
that felt like the right thing. That was like the end of the argument. Like that's what we need to do. And I've listened to I've listened to multiple podcasts respond, multiple tweets. And everybody is doing this, hold his feet to your fire. We're responding to him like, keep that same energy when the mirror is put back onto you. Go fuck yourself. Like, get it together, tighten up, and how dare you. but you offered like, hold up, we can't be condemning him with that same from that same patriarchal view of his value being in what he provides for her. I just want to say I did not hear you when you were saying that, because that was very, very true. And it made me think about Bell Hooks in The Will to Change, which I think we should all read. But she has a statement: we need to highlight the role women play in perpetuating and sustaining patriarchal culture so that we will recognize patriarchy as a system women and men support equally, even if men receive more rewards from that system. Dismantling and changing patriarchal culture is work that men and women must do together. And so there's this constant mirroring that happens. And so whenever I feel fired up whenever we feel fired up to point our finger at somebody, what is it saying about us? And I feel like there hasn't been this deeper. I'm grateful for the way that you responded to that, because it made me think a lot like, damn girl, you just, what did Audrey say? You can't dismantle the house with the same tools or some shit like that. I just
They built it.
You cannot do it. And it's like, we women, we have to really be accountable to how we co-create patriarchy, because it is a co-creation. It is not us in cells at this point being oppressed. And right now there is this just really tightly bound projection pattern and co-creation around patriarchy that we are very much involved in. So I'm going to listen to you more, and I invite other people to listen more when we just want to like see red and think, oh, she's caping. And yeah, just sit with what we are feeling so vehemently about. What is our actual argument? What is the source of validation and hurt, really, that we are trying to itch, or we're trying to have validated, or like them to be accountable for? But
I think at the end of the day, there's a understanding. Like, I think what I would have wished I would have seen more of is, why would you do that publicly? Why can't this woman express her sexuality or wear this outfit if she's a mom? What does that then say about her? You ain't paying her fucking bills. You need to sit the fuck down. You ain't doing shit. It's that those are the same tools that built the problem. So yeah, I hear you.
Even less is, what are you feeling? Like, how do you feel?
Are you okay?
Like, how are you okay? What are you feeling? You feel scared? You feel insecure? You feel small? It's more concern about his experience. And it's not about Keke. It's really about like, bro, are you good? Because you're wilding. What's going on with you? There is a wound or a source. There's a tender, vulnerable thing that was hidden in all of that. And I feel like
it's not our job to fix it. And I want to be clear about that. It's not a woman's job to take that on and fix it. But maybe what I think my question is, what would happen if that's how we approached each other? And you and I have learned to approach each other that way. We used to have that tension even in our business relationship. And now there's an inquiry. Are you okay? Are you tired? What's going on? What do you need? How can I help you? What if we did that with people who disappointed us?
Yeah.
Especially men.
That's very, very hard to do. And
hard.
That is a whole episode. This just brought up so much stuff. It's really, really hard to do. And I want to acknowledge and offer space for the women that are like, nah, I don't have it in me to do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But that ain't how we get free. It just isn't.
This is going to be a long-ass episode because I'm playing these motherfucking voicemails, y'all. So stick with the kids. All right, ready?
I got to find my fan. I'm sweating. Keep going. My headphones are connected.
Okay. Set. Go. Help.
Hey, ladies. This is Leo. I've been listening to y'all's podcast quite a bit lately, and just had a comment about y'all's episode about do we need men First of all, I do appreciate y'all opening up and having that conversation from what sounds like a very balanced place. And I just think that more women and people in general should be more honest about the whole quote unquote gender wars, men versus women thing. But I just have questions for y'all to think about, and for everybody else that's listening. Just the first thing, well, what is, as a human being, take away all these titles and descriptions that society has given us. What do you need? Do you need love? Do you need compassion? Is there something internally to you that you need from somebody else, from yourself, from community? Second thing, is there some type of restorative love or mutuality and love that you can provide for your community, for yourself, for the people around you? And what does that look like? Because I think what's happened is there's been so much hurt and harm caused from inside and outside of our communities that now we're at a point to where so many people are hurt and just don't know where to allocate those pains and those traumas and those experiences. There needs to be space for it, but there also needs to be a space for love. So just some questions to think about, because I think about these things often as well. Keep up the good work, y'all.
So I want to shout Leo out. Shanti, Leo is remember the guy, the handsome guy I showed you who listens to the podcast, who is the Southern guy? Remember I sent you his page and he wants to talk about bell hooks and the will to change? This is who. That's
Leo,
who
you
just
sound
called.
cute. Let me objectify you a little bit on.
Oh my God.
You
Leo,
sound cute. I apologize.
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to, I think he just summed it up. We literally just said that, and then he came through with I think we need to ask questions around what we need. And I think that's a great point. And we should he wants to read The Will to Change.
We have to.
But he wants to, maybe we can incorporate him on here because he keeps asking me to do it, and I just don't have the bandwidth to do it outside of here. So Leo, if you're listening, let's get on a call or something. Let's figure out.
I feel like it has to be men and women. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. And he's doing that work. But I love him saying that, we have so much hurt and we don't know where to allocate that pain. And so we're just placing it on each other. So more work to be done. Get my cape. All right, last one. What color should my cape be? I think it should be purple.
Hey, Shanti. Hey, Antoinette.
Hey.
I was just listening to the episode where you guys are talking about, do we need men or do we want them? I believe that we do need them. And I understand, the negative connotation behind how strong the word need is, but that's how strong our bond should be with these men that we need. It's just so confusing from growing up in the 90s in Connecticut, and everybody wanted to be with the boyfriend and holding hands, and boyfriends would carry your books to class, and they would go all out. And now it's just nobody needs anybody. It's so weird trying to navigate that, being born in 88. And here we are in 2023, and it's a whole fucking shit show out here. But yeah, Internet, I agree. We do need our teams. We need them more than we care to admit sometimes, because sometimes they be having us out here looking stupid. But at the end of the day, we love they raggedy asses, as you would say. And we need them. We need them to be strong in order to help us to be strong. It's just a give and take. It's like you said, an ecosystem. We're all here for a purpose. We all supposed to be riding for each other. And once that starts happening again, I think our beautiful Black community will begin to thrive again, especially in the family aspect. But anyway, let's go ahead. I love you guys. Keep doing your thing. And hopefully, whenever you guys decide to come to Georgia, I will be in the number. All right, peace.
Shout out to her. Go ahead, Shanti.
No, I don't disagree. I don't. Again, I'm really not going to sit here and argue over the semantics. I don't think what we were saying was different. Of course, we need each other. Of course.
Yeah, I think too. I think a couple of, because that clip went up today, and a couple of comments struck me where people were like, "Well, you know, this is important outside of romantic relationships," and I think that I hope that we were talking about that as well, and I couldn't agree more that a relationship is a relationship and it doesn't have to be romantic, and we need each other. I also saw a lot of people saying, like, you know, I'll survive. I've been surviving. Like, I need means that if I don't have you, I can't survive. And so my only thing, pushback, not really pushback, I guess my question to that is like, or not even a question. For me, I don't want to survive anymore. Like, I want to thrive. I want to prosper. I want to frolic. I want to float. I want to like enjoy my life. And so in my mind, this survival thing, like, yeah, I can do it. Of course I can do it. But I don't know. I think there's a collective community around me that I need in order to really take flight. So I think we were saying the same thing. But without further ado, we're 46 minutes in, so we'll be taking the break, Monty, before the voicemails, and we'll probably add another break here, just to, you know, break this thing on up. So I'll put that in the notes, and then we'll be right back with our very special guest. Okay. Do you want to sing for the break or no?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Child, I was about to say, we got a whole musical guest on here, and you gave us a lackluster performance. And we are back and joined by our very special guest, who I am so excited to have on. Mr. Branford Jones is here. Fellow Philadelphian.
I love your intro.
I ain't even doing it.
I know, but even that was great. Even that was great.
Listen, I know that you all know who this gentleman is. You just don't realize you know who he is. He is the genius behind one of my absolute favorite IG pages, which is They Have the Range. And Branford has decided to grace us with his presence. And he does not do interviews. He's trying to act like he's shy. But I don't really think he is. I think that he just scared he's going to say some shit that might get him in trouble. But we will edit that out.
Keep it going. Get it provocative. Make it provocative. See, now.
That's somebody who don't care about you. All right? You got to work with these people. It's
okay. I went to Temple University. I'm very media trained. So let's go.
Shout out to Philly. All right. So first up, for those of you who don't know, pick up your phones right now, go to IG and type in They Have the Range, and you've seen it. His stuff gets shared. I comment. All of the celebrities follow him. Anybody knows about this page. And if you love music, you know about this page. You know his work. And I'm very grateful for your work because I've discovered folks on there. And sometimes I just sit there and smile. Like in the evening, I just sit there and scroll and I'm like, cheesing. And I will say I came to know who you were, and I think I can say this now. There was a time when Hotels first came out that I was helping Jazz with her social media, and so I kept seeing this page just repping Jazz, and I was like, girl, and she was already following you from her account, and I was like, do you know this account? She was like, no, but it's dope. Like, I go on there and I listen to like the singers and stuff that they post. and they post like the real singers, like the background singers, like you're
Mm-hmm.
in the mix. Like you're not just
Hmm.
like, oh, the people that are in the forefront. You're like, no, have
Right.
you heard this songwriter? Do you know this producer? Do you know this gospel artist? You see this little girl at church? So I think that I don't know how it happened, but you and I just became friendly. I was always
Yeah.
commenting on my
Yeah.
personal account on your page. And I think that you put it together that I was her friend. And then we like ran into each other at shows and
Yeah.
just like
Well, I mean,
energy was great.
I recognized that you were, on the album because you were one of the
Oh, right.
voices.
There was
Oh, right. I was.
visuals. I be forgetting it. I'm like, how you know that? How you know it's me? You're right. You're right. Okay, that makes sense.
So
That
yeah,
makes more sense.
yes, it does. But I mean, I couldn't help it because you were always in the comments anyway. So,
Always. I'm like, yeah, sing girl. Number
and I'm
five and number
only
six.
and I'm an only child, so I'm really good with faces.
Oh
Um,
Is it an
wow,
only
I'm
child
terrible.
thing?
I
Hmm.
think so. I'm really good with faces. Like I remember one time I was driving in Tennessee with my mom. I saw my Uncle David like jogging past us. I was like, "Mom, it's Uncle David," and she was like, "No, it wasn't." And then she called him and was like, "Yeah, it was." Like I don't know. It's just like a weird thing that I
That's a
know a
skill that
face.
I need to have. I don't have
Yeah.
that skill. I forget people like that, and it's terrible.
Mm.
But anyway, I want to know for how many you're close to 1 million followers on
We
IG
are.
at this point,
We're
right?
at 886. Yeah.
That's
Wow,
wild.
Thousand.
And
congratulations.
when
Yeah,
did
when
you
did you
start the
start?
page?
2016, but
Wow.
it wasn't on Instagram originally. I started on Facebook.
Hmm.
Wow.
And for the first 2 years, I was on Facebook posting. I wasn't posting anywhere else except Facebook. And then
And then you took it to Instagram.
in 2018, it was like I dropped a bomb, and it just was like whoosh,
Just
and
went
here we are,
crazy.
literally,
So then
literally.
what's what was the mission and vision behind They Have the Range?
Okay, so there wasn't a mission and vision. Literally, I was in 2016 of August. I was sitting on Twitter. I saw a thread about different black women who have the range and who don't have the range. And I was already working in social media, and I don't know, the thought just ran across my mind. It was like, yo, that would be a dope like Instagram page. And at
Mm.
first it was going to be called She Has the Range. But I was like, well, no, everyone sings, so let's call it they. So it includes everybody. And then I went to Canva. I made this little logo thing that said they have the range. It was so basic. I went and got every handle that I could find. And yeah, I posted a video of an Asian choir singing Total Praise in their native tongue on
Oh, wow.
Facebook, and it went viral.
Okay.
But what really launched They Have the Range was I posted another video of one of the Pace sisters singing Amazing Grace and Cracker Barrel. And I posted it and it was doing well. Now, if you remember back in like 2015, 2014, there was this um white lady that was on Ellen, and she got on Ellen because she posted this video of her buying a Chewbacca mask, and laughing hysterically, and it got like millions and millions of views. Long
No.
story short, she's like this super uber Christian on Facebook. She saw the post, she shared it, put a little message, and once she shared it, boom,
Oh.
like
Wow.
triple plat. It went triple platinum.
You went
And
diamond.
that's how it started. I think it had like 100,000 shares or something like that. It was crazy. And yeah, it just was going there. I was like, whoa, okay, this could be something. Because at that time I told nobody. I told
Mm.
no one, not even my parents knew. I was just like, okay. And then as time went on, I started telling some friends, I was like, hey, have you seen this page before? They were like, yeah, I love that page. I was like, yeah, that's me.
Hmm.
And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, that's my page. And they were like, wait, like I love that page. So yeah, we did that in 2000, at the end of 2017, going into 2018, Facebook was having some issues with copyright stuff. So I had to
Hmm.
pivot. And then I went to Instagram and started posting, and I had like 2,000 followers kind of, on the page because I think people were like looking it up, like, oh, is this on Instagram too? And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, well, let's start posting, on there regularly. And yeah, so while this is all happening, I was working for another company in Philly, a music startup company. I got let go.
Mm.
And I took a month to myself. I talked to God, I prayed, I meditated, I started traveling by myself because at that time I was putting everybody and everything in front of what I wanted. At that time I felt like I didn't have a voice.
Mm.
So I told God, I said, okay, this is doing well on Facebook. I think I have something. So I'm gonna go balls to the wall with it, and we're gonna see what happens. And here we are, 6 years
And
later.
here we are.
What is your relationship with music? You said you're working.
Yeah, so well, first it starts with my name. So my name Branford, I'm named after Branford Marsalis, who is a
Yeah, figured.
known jazz musician. My parents are major jazz fans. My mother could play the piano. My father played the clarinet and electric guitar. And he was a videographer. So music was always in my home. And I'm a church kid.
Mm.
Shout out to Salem Baptist Church of Jenkintown, now in Roslyn. So I went to, in a historical black church in Philadelphia, where Martin Luther King spoke at, started in 1844, 1884, excuse me, by slaves.
Wow.
And it started in Jenkintown, and it was a small house, and it's been around ever since. And I feel like me being in music was ordained over my life. My parents named me after a jazz musician. So when I, fell into it, like, it is what it is, So I started, I grew up playing the clarinet as well. I grew up playing the piano. My Aunt Marie taught me how to play the piano. And I did that all the way up until ninth grade, because they wouldn't let me take band and chorus in high
At the
school.
same
So I
time.
had I had to choose, yeah. So I chose
Mm-hmm.
chorus. I was like, I'm the better singer than than clarinet player. So let's go do that.
And the
But I was good at
clarinet is
both.
hard as hell.
Very, very. But I feel like the best singers are also folks who can play the instrument outside the piano
Hmm.
because playing the clarinet, your breath control has to be top
Hmm.
tier, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, now while all of that was happening, I also was doing musical theater. So when the light bulb really went off for me outside of church and being in church choirs, it's when I played Rooster and Annie in sixth grade. And that's when it was like, ding, okay, this is where I belong. This is where I can make other people happy. This is where I make myself happy.
Mm.
And yeah, I was doing musical theater. I was singing in church. I was in chorus and I was playing instruments. So I was musiced out. There was nothing that part of music that wasn't in my life growing up.
And so now I think it's really beautiful that you told the story too about the woman who gave you like that kind of viral posting, and
Yeah,
made that a thing for you because that's essentially what you're doing for other
Mm.
folks.
Mhm.
Like
yeah,
you're giving folks a platform. And I want to get into that because I want to ask you about your most memorable moments with your platform. I know that,
yeah.
you were behind the Can We Talk challenge, where you're giving all of these
Got you.
artists this
Now
platform.
I want to correct that because if Tank sees it, I
Here
don't
we
want him coming
go.
after me. So I didn't do the Can We
Oh
Talk
God.
challenge, but I did some others.
You didn't do that because are you being
I
PC?
didn't.
Because I feel like I
No,
saw it first
no,
with
no. I,
you.
I swear to, I swear
Okay.
to God, Tank did that.
All
Tank
right.
did that. I swear to God, Tank did that
Then you
one.
did the
But
Mariah Carey one.
I did the Mariah Carey one. But you can give me
And
the
you
credit for.
partnered with her?
I did.
You asked the
See,
question again,
you
say
have
it
to.
again.
I
What'd you
did.
say?
He
I did.
partnered with her. Like
Oh
there
wow.
are
Yeah.
artists coming to
Yeah.
him because it's promotion for them as well. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to, like, who are the artists that
Yeah.
you've worked with that they're
Okay.
then saying, like, Mariah Carey's team hits you up and
Right.
says we want to promote
Right.
X, and you're like, okay,
Right.
cool, I'll do a challenge. But then on the
Right.
backside of that, you have these amazing singers submitting, And then you're giving them this platform
Yeah.
that just boosts them, and who knows
Yeah.
what gigs they're getting after that, and the
Yeah.
follows and the this, and it's amazing. It's like such
Yeah.
a beautiful space. It's such a safe space too, because
Yeah.
the thing that I love is I never see negativity in your comments. I only ever see,
Sometimes,
and I don't know.
sometimes you don't see
Maybe
them.
you
I
monitor
see
it. Okay.
them.
Okay.
Okay,
I
because
don't
here's
see it. I just see people celebrating folks.
Yes, but no, I've definitely, my blacklist is probably very long.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, when I post an artist, I take on the responsibility of protecting them from nasty comments. Because it's already such a, being an artist is such already a hard thing. We know how social media comments can have a really effect on the mental, right?
Yeah.
Am I perfect? No, I'm definitely not perfect. Have I said some things that I probably should not have said? Yes. But I'm trying to be better and I'm trying to evolve, and make sure that it is a safe space. But one thing I will not tolerate is disrespect. So I have no problem, popping in the comments and refuting something that someone said out of ignorance. That's just me. But yeah, no, to answer your question, um, yeah, well, I mean, so shout out low key. I know this is not a good thing to say, but shout out to COVID, because COVID is what birthed the singing challenges.
Yeah.
Because I had to keep people engaged, and I was like, well, what the hell am I going to do? Because I was trying to do events and stuff, and COVID shut all that down. And for me, I was like, all right, you know what? I was going to do a singing challenge just when I hit 500K, but I didn't do it. So I was like, let's just do it now. And I started off with the key change challenge. And that was the very first one. Again, went to Canva. Shout out to Canva for getting me all the materials and assets that I need.
I know that's right.
And I just made a list of songs that have, bomb ass key changes. And I put a list, I made the rules, say here's the hashtag, and let it rip and see who was going to do it. And from the very first post, it was, again, like I just dropped a mini bomb, and people were just like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, yada, yada, yada. So I would say the 3 artists that I work with on challenges that I work directly with that have been amazing. One was Missy Elliot.
The God.
I did the Missy challenge, and that was the first artist that I did a challenge with that reposted like my announcement ever. And she posted it on her page, and then she reposted some of the singers that were doing the challenge. So while they were getting visibility with me, they were also getting visibility with her and her audience. And she posted it on Twitter. I didn't even ask her to do that. I just thought she was going to do Instagram. So she went above and beyond. But that's the kind of person that Missy is, and she's always shown us that she's that kind of person, that will, if the music is good and you inspire her, she's going to put you on that summer jam screen stage for the right reason. And yeah, that was one of my favorite moments. I couldn't believe that I grew up on Missy. I remember playing Under Construction on a boombox in gym in elementary school, and we would sit and listen to it during gym. Like, I remember that. Like, you know what I mean? So to have someone like that co-sign me and also say this platform is good enough to work with meant everything. The second person I would say really working with, but I'll get to acknowledge, of course, when Jazmine acknowledged the Jazmine Sullivan challenge. Now, I will say this. I did not start the Jazmine Sullivan challenge, but I breathed new life into it. I breathed new life into it, right? There was a girl from the UK that did it, but it had died down. Like, it died down. And then when I posted it, that's when everyone started doing it again, right?
Because she did her little video.
Yes.
Because she was like, see y'all want this, fine.
Right.
That moment was very special for me.
I edited that video, and I was like, I think you did the run wrong. She did, but it was fine. She did do it wrong. The insecure one, right?
I thought, listen, you said it. I thought whatever.
She said it after
everything right.
She was like, I probably did, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
She just put it out. Yeah.
But that moment meant a lot, because people knew how much I love jazz, and which me being from Philly and us having that connection, you know, growing up, you know, listening to her,
Mm-hmm.
but also playing tennis with her brother, and just what that meant. And I understood that Jazmine deserves the fucking world because she's been putting in so much hard work and she hasn't been getting the acknowledgement that she deserves. She got her things now, but you know, she should have been got it when she first came out.
And I feel
In
like
my
you were a
opinion.
big part of that. I
Yeah.
do. And I think that like you were a huge part of her getting more visibility online and being like, yo,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Did we all
Like,
forget? And then Hotels drops and it's like,
right.
all right, now we
Exactly.
gotta really like rally behind her and make sure she
Listen,
gets her things.
I
Yeah.
was prepared. I was ready to go to war, and she didn't get her Grammys. And I posted
Same.
about it. I would have went into, what is his name? Harvey Mason Jr. I'd have went into his DMs and said, "Count your days,"
Oh, not a
because
threat.
what are you
Not a life
doing?
threat.
Literally. And we ride at dawn. And I had the rest of they had the rain, they was ready. I
They
said,
were.
listen, they were ready. They was like, listen, if she don't get it, but you know what? Just like Kanye said, who knows what would happen because I won. And that's the same thing that
There you
happened. She
go.
won. And she got
There
two,
you go.
which you know what I mean? So yeah, that was a really special moment. And then working with Brandy, of
Yeah.
course, I mean,
Brandy.
Brandy. And you know, having a moment with her during the B7 listening on YouTube and hearing her excitement about me and my page, and knowing that again, that's another person that raised me musically. Without Jazz, without Missy, without Brandy, there would be no They Have the Range. These are the people
Yeah.
that taught me what music was, and how to be good at music. These are people that I've studied, that I
Mhm.
continue to study, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was a really special moment, and to do that with her was one of my favorite moments. But again, I guess my favorite moment, and we talked about this earlier, is the Mariah Carey challenge.
Huge.
Um, that
Look at your
that
face.
I still can't believe it. You know what
How
I
does
mean?
that
Like it's
happen?
crazy.
How did that
So
happen?
but let me tell the story about like why it's a full circle moment for me.
Okay,
So I feel like I was born in 91,
baby.
and most of our parents had the giant stereo with the glass door
Of course. Yes.
that had the cassette, the radio, and then you had
Mhm.
the six
CD
track
changer.
CD changer,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I don't know what my mom or my dad was on during this time, but the first real album that I digested, other than my mom playing oldies in the car with me, or her playing Luther or the Delphonics, or Anita Ward's Ring My Bell, or Smokey Robinson, who my mom adores, um, was Mariah Carey's Music Box.
Oh, such a
So
good
I
old
was,
Mariah. Oh,
yes, Dream Lover Mariah,
come
right?
rescue me.
When I tell you I wore that album out, like my
Mm.
parents were like, can you relax?" But like it just was that was one of my first memories of music that I digested. Like I know that album front to back. Like every
Mm.
ad lib, every background, I just know it. And like it's one of those albums like Full Moon that I know front to back, or like Usher's Confessions that I know front to back.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so that made me a fan. So I supported all throughout, you know, me being what, 6 to 31 years old. So at 31 years old, on my birthday, being able
Wow.
to being having her do a collaborative announcement post with me.
Wow.
I'm not an Apple Music. I'm not a Spotify. I don't
Yeah.
even got a blue
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
And her being open to announce that with me and commenting on the post and sharing the videos in her story, man, that was I yeah, that's a full circle moment for me. And that's also like my parents got it. They were like, "Okay,
Mariah
okay,
Carey.
Okay. Okay. Like you did your big one, son. You did it.
Mhm.
Like they got it. That was I mean, I was actually at Adam Blackstone's event in Philly when that
Oh, tell
happened.
the people who Adam Blackstone is
Oh,
because
Adam
I talk
Blackstone.
about this all the time and I'm like,
Okay.
wherever you see a live band for any kind of show of any substance,
Yep.
he is ADing it basically, or MDing it
Yes.
basically. But go
Yes. So
ahead.
Adam is a musical genius. He is one of the best musical directors to ever live, in my opinion.
Mm.
He has worked with every one of your favorite artists, from Rihanna
Mm.
to Jay-Z to hell, done Jazmine Sullivan stuff. Um, he is he is top two and he ain't number two.
Every Grammy,
Um,
every Super Bowl, every
okay.
Oscar, every
Yes.
Emmy is him,
Yes.
baby,
Him.
up there
Him.
playing and
Him.
getting the band
And
together.
yes, yes, and giving people an amazing arrangements to bring their music to
Oh,
life on stage. So
yeah.
it is a I'm grateful for him. It is a blessing to know him. And he has taken me under his wing as a mentee and has poured into me, and I'm forever grateful for him. Uh, but during his event in Philly, that's when I was on my phone and I was waiting for Mariah to accept the collaboration accepting, and she did. And I nearly ran around that building. Like literally, I was with Ashley Mapp, who was of the Grammy chapter in Philly, and I was with my good friend Kevin Michael, who's an amazing singer, songwriter, who I work with right now. And yeah, I they were with me, and my mentor Marshall Mitchell was there as well. And I, it makes me emotional to think about it because it just
Hmm.
means so much. Um, because I was waiting for someone to really like take a chance,
Hmm.
and really like put something behind me. And she did, and she agreed to everything that I asked. And there was no
And you
pushback.
reached out to her
So
or her team
no,
reached out to you?
um, they reached out to us. So
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so
So are
proud of
you
you.
doing this by yourself at this point?
Yeah,
Like these
yeah,
curations, you're the one, nobody understands.
everything's,
I mean, we post memes and stuff, and the
yeah,
thought and the curation and the organization that goes into that is
yeah.
like, child. So you're the one that's
It's,
handling all of that.
yeah, yeah,
That's
just
amazing.
me.
It's
Yeah.
You
amazing.
know, a part of it, yes, it's hard work, but it also doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then also too, my memes at the end, that's how I get my joy
They're
out of it.
great. They're great.
Like,
I
y'all,
used to
y'all really don't understand. I'll be sitting here cracking up 20 minutes before I post it, because I'm like, they gonna laugh at this one. They gonna like this one.
if I'm being honest, when I was helping
Hmm.
Jazz with her social, I used to go to your page to steal some of the memes for when I would do her stories. And
Yeah.
I would need like a reaction kind of face, and I'd be like, "What he
I'm
post?"
like, I peeped.
That
I
would be
peeped.
still.
I was
So
like,
I'm like, well, they were also on Twitter as well, but I would be stealing them
right,
from
right,
everywhere, and I'd be like, I
right.
don't know where else to look. Let me go over here. No, your meme game
Listen,
is real good,
I
listen.
love
real
it.
good,
I deep dive, and I just try to find things that are like hilarious, because it's like there's
and they're
always a
so
reaction for how
black.
you feel. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
really it.
hella. It's like if you're a part of the culture, you get it immediately. You're just
Exactly.
like
Hmm.
Like
this.
there's one I recently did. There was like a white woman. I think they had her watching. It was like from like a YouTube video of like it's like a BuzzFeed or something like that, and she was like wiping her face, and she was just like, "Wow, Academy Award winner!" Like it's just like stuff like that that like get me.
Hmm.
It's just like this is hilarious because this is actually how I feel. Like this shit is good. Like this shit is
Yeah.
amazing, you know? But I like to add that element of laughter because like I just feel like we with such negativity on social media, like you really gotta find something to laugh at to make you feel good. So while you're getting the chills from the singing, I want you to laugh at the end
Yeah.
too, just to be
It's
like
all
It
get
about
brings people
joy.
so
a
much
double
joy.
whammy of
Yeah.
positivity and joy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a game with you, and I hope it
Okay.
remains positive. But
Okay.
before we do
Okay.
that, because I'm really looking
Okay.
forward to this game.
Okay.
Before we do that, I want to know, and I'm sure the people want to know, and if you want to share, like
Hmm.
what's next? What's your vision? Where
What's
else?
next?
It's such an
Okay,
annoying question,
it's
but
okay. So, the main goal was to really try to get to 1 million to start doing things because we know in this industry, it's all about your numbers, right?
ugh,
But so I'll just say this. Original music is coming. Not by me, but it'll be A&R'd by me, and it'll be some stuff will be
amazing.
written by me and arranged by me. But it'll be with your favorite producers, your favorite singers, just to kind of doing the same thing that I've kind of been doing, right? Where they have the range. I feel like if I've been able to curate music posts, let's take a crack at curating some actual original music. So that's next.
Yes.
We're gonna be doing some events around the country and overseas. Shout out to London. Y'all have been loving on me so much. Shout out to the Philippines. Y'all go
Wow.
hard. Y'all ride for me. Shout out to New Zealand and Australia. Shout out to the Samoan, I'm saying that so wrong. Samoan community, right? Did I say that right? Okay.
Samoan.
Yeah. So
Simone, am I saying that right?
Samoan.
some
It's all good.
Samoan. Okay,
Hmm.
doesn't
Samoan.
Yeah.
matter. It's okay. We know
I
your heart.
apologize. Um, shout out to y'all. They go hard for me too. And I always go hard for them because they are some singing ass folks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just trying to really, make They Have the Range a household name, and we're gonna do these events. Hopefully, one day in the future, we have our own music festival. One day in the future, we have our own award show,
Speak it into existence.
and
Yes.
so much more. The real end goal for me, what I think I want to leave my legacy as is I want to get into legislation. I want the American government to be funding music in every school, because we know
Fuck
how
up.
important music
Yes.
is, and we can't. And I feel like as America, we have to value the arts again, and we have to understand what necessary skills can come with being artistic and
Mm-hmm.
how that can, also bleed into other sections of your life. Especially being a musician, it takes discipline. And we know how important discipline is for in other areas of your life. So, hopefully one day, I can get to that part of the journey, and make sure that every child can experience how important music is to the world and how it's made, how it's impacted me and, made me the man I am today.
I am so fucking proud of you. It makes
Thank you.
it just seriously, because you're giving people a platform, you're
Yeah.
celebrating the art form that is just near and dear to all of our hearts.
Yeah.
And then you're also basically a resource for all of our like favorite artists to go and
Yeah.
be like, okay, who do I want to work with? What
Yeah.
background singers I need? Who I need to
Yeah.
help me
Mm-hmm.
reference this song for me? Like
Yeah.
you are you're I think that your reach and I don't even know that we quite understand it, the way that you're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Like I know for a
Yeah.
fact that artists go on your page and they look for singers and people to collaborate with
Wow.
through your page. I know for a
Wow.
fact. Like
Okay.
I've watched it happen where they're like,
Wow.
"Let me see. I'm looking for
Wow.
DM this person. DM that
Mm-hmm.
person. See if they're available for this date."
Wow.
So you're it's amazing. So you should be
That's
so
crazy.
proud of yourself.
Yeah, I just try to stay in gratitude, which I learned from Duran. Shout out to Duran Bernard.
Loved her.
Um,
Obsessed. Obsessed.
yeah,
Oh,
he would definitely do y'all podcast, so you need to get him on.
For real?
I
I'll make
love
that
him so.
Make
connection.
the
He's touring with
connection.
Erica. I saw
Yeah,
him on Monday.
I'll make that connection. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay gratitude, stay, super grateful because I get to do what I love. And I meet people every day. For those who recognize me, they definitely come up and talk to me. I still get weird about it because I'm just like I don't want to be famous. This is not. I didn't do it for this. Because I
Yeah.
easily could have been. I could have put my face out there. I could have been. This is me. This is
Mm-hmm.
mine. Yada yada yada. But I didn't want it to be about me
Yeah.
because it doesn't need to be about me. When it needs to be about me, it will. But right now, it doesn't. I just want to focus on the craft, and I want to, you know, kind of throwback to what I grew up on, right? The music programming for Black folks was Soul Train, was 106 in Park, and we don't really have those things anymore. So I want to just add to that legacy,
Well, adding to it, oh, something's happening.
Jazz and in Philly
Shout out to
streets,
Philly.
okay?
It's okay.
Adding to that, let's play since
Here we go.
they're not hard. They're not hard.
Okay.
But we
Okay.
usually do this like game of with our guests. We usually do rapid fire questions. And I was like, you know what? I want to do a different version. And it doesn't have to be rapid. But I do
Okay.
want to play a game where a friend of ours, Clint Coley, has a podcast.
Okay.
Music
Clint-
is the love
Clint's from Philly,
language.
right?
Clint's
Clint's
from Philly.
Yeah, went to Temple
Yes,
University.
so-
I think so too. It's crazy,
Did
right?
he go to Temple?
I think he
I
went
don't
to
even
Temple.
remember it. I'm the worst. But he had posted a couple of really hard questions where he
Okay.
and I they stumped me. I was like, I can't answer this. So I'm gonna
Okay.
ask questions like that to you. I think the
Okay,
first one
okay.
I kind of stole from him. Let me go to it.
Okay.
Why can't I find it? Now I have
I'm a
anxiety.
little nervous.
Don't be nervous. Okay,
Okay.
ready? You are curating a concert, and you only have slots for 3 groups.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to cut one of these groups.
Okay.
Okay, you have Jodeci, you
Mhm.
have Drew Hill, you have Boys to Men, and you have New Edition.
Okay. I'm cutting Jodeci.
He cut Jack. Oh,
Wait. Is this now or like in their prime?
Listen. Well, that's a good
Prime.
question.
Prime?
They're
Prime time.
in their best selves. Yes, prime.
Prime time.
Okay, who are they again? You said Jodeci?
Jodeci, Drew
Mhm.
Hill, Boys to Men, New Edition. There's no good answer, so you can still stay with the one you had. Come on now.
Damn.
Look at you stressed. It's dead air.
This is in their prime. I'm going based off this is the they had the range answer.
Okay.
I'm going to cut off New Edition.
Oh,
I agree. I agree.
okay. I agree too.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Wow,
but if it's now, I'm cutting Jodeci.
Okay,
Interesting.
absolutely.
Because New Edition
Unfortunately.
puts on a good show
Unfortunately.
in these days.
And Jodeci, we know what had happened
Listen.
over
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Blessings.
Yes.
So I have a follow-up question to that. Now,
Okay.
so let's say you cut New Edition. Who is the headliner? And then what's the order of the beginning acts?
Okay.
Jodeci, Drew Hill, Boys to Men.
So I'm gonna do this. So Drew Hill will be the opener
Okay.
because they are, and I'm gonna be the traditional person because out of all of them, they are the babies of the group. So we're gonna do Drew
Okay.
Hill,
You're giving
right? We're talking about their
seniority.
prime, right? Right, then we're gonna do Boys to Men, just to slow things down, right? Slow it down and kind of, just mellow it out a little bit, because, Drew Hill's gonna turn them up and they're gonna be doing the Tell Me bounce and all that stuff. So we're gonna do, some of that. And then I'm gonna bring out the ever so crazy, with, sex fueled Jodeci to turn all the women up at the end. So they go home all hot and bothered and ready for the next show that they had the Rangers putting on. So we're gonna have Jodeci headline because I know they gonna get up there and turn it out.
So
To end the
Boys to
show.
Men is in the middle.
Boys and Men's in the middle.
Okay. Shanti,
Yeah.
do you agree with that?
Jodeci is closing. Boys to Men is the opening. Sorry.
What?
And then I
Yeah.
would
Boys to Men
It's
is
opening, then I
opening
put
for
Jodeci.
Drew Hill?
put, yeah. That's
Can't
just
do
my
that.
personal
Fucking way.
preference.
Call in, everybody.
Can't do
Stone
that.
her.
Question though,
No
who
way.
should open? What is your take on the SWV and Escape?
SWV.
Okay.
Should
They're
what?
opening or they're the headliners?
Headliner.
Agreed.
Wow.
And
You don't
listen,
agree with that?
I love Escape. But let's be very here. See, this is why you'll get me in trouble. But I'm gonna just say this. This is the last not last thing I'm gonna say that's not media trained. Um,
It ain't gonna be wrong.
Escape's music has not had the same impact that SWV's music has. Because you can literally just
No.
say whose music is still getting sampled.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
Who's remaking Escape records? No one, right? I think they're a wonderful group. I think they can sing. I'm glad they're still performing. Candy's a brilliant songwriter, and she has made some of our favorite records. But when it comes to SWV, they have been overlooked for so long that no. We're not. They're not on the same playing field at all when it comes to the actual bodies of work.
Say it. Drop the mic. All right, I got another question for you.
Okay.
Who is the most underrated R&B singer of the following?
Okay.
Kelly Price, Tamia,
Mm-hmm.
Shantae Moore,
Mm-hmm.
Ledisi. Who has not gotten the things that belong to them?
Oh, that's a really difficult question.
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
worked really hard on these. Look at them. Dead air. Shanti, say something. Sing.
I'm going to say Shantae Moore
Wow.
because I will say that Kelly Price has records that she's been on timeless records. Like As We Lay, Heartbreak Hotel, her spot is cemented. You know what I mean? She still, really remains relevant. Not saying that they aren't, but they are, right? Ledisi, she when they need her to
She's
do
more than
something, they give her the
R&B.
phone call. You know what I mean? Like I would say she's more than R&B too, right?
Yeah.
I would say her voice, like even with the Nina Simone stuff that she's been doing, I
She's
feel
a
like
jazz lady too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? I think she's not just strictly R&B. You can't really box her in. Um, but I feel like people really respect Ledisi. You know what I mean? And then Tamia has been on some of the biggest records ever, like Officially Missing You. Um, like you know what I mean? But I feel like Shantae's Got a Man, but I feel like I wish that more producers and songwriters really ran to her and gave her not better records, but really good records. Like they went in going and saying, "We're gonna get you a hit." You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have the voice, you have the chops, and I feel like they didn't do that when they should have. So I feel like she's probably the most underrated, and I love Shantae. Shantae has been nothing but sweet to me. I can call her, and we have great conversations. She's always been super supportive. When I asked her to do the Luther Vandross challenge, she did it, and so that's my baby. And I really feel like I feel like yeah, she's had success, and people go see her. But I feel like she should have been done better by the industry and the
Agreed.
folks who were in
Wonderful,
it.
thoughtful answer. Absolutely.
Agreed. All right.
Absolutely.
Better wedding song. For You,
Ooh,
Kenny
okay,
Lattimore.
okay,
Love You for Life, Jodeci.
okay.
Or Let's Get Married, Jagged Edge.
For You, Kenny Lattimore, without a choice.
Thank you. It's
That
so
is
good.
that is one of the most thoughtful lyrically records that I've ever heard in my life. It's a song that is timeless. The lyrics will never go out of style. And I feel like if someone says they feel that way about you or they send that song to you and dedicate it to you, you truly know that person loves you for you.
Hmm. I love
So
that.
yeah,
Okay.
and then Kane Lattimore sang the hell out of that song. So yeah,
Sang it down.
okay,
All
like
right.
crazy.
You have these artists are doing a final farewell concert, all
Okay.
on the same
Okay.
night.
Okay.
Okay, you cannot make
Okay.
it to multiple concerts.
Okay.
Who are you going to see? The
Oh,
artists are Sade,
mm-hmm.
Anita Baker,
Mm-hmm.
Babyface.
Now, why would you do this after the
Why
whole
would Shanti
debacle
sit back and suck her teeth like that,
on
though?
the internet? Why would you ask me these artists? Okay. Um. Okay. Um. My
Shanti, get your
dad's
answer
my
together too.
dad's my dad's a Sade girl, so I know that would be his choice, but that's not gonna be my choice.
Ooh,
Um. I love what she has given to the world in her artistry. Um, but
the training
when
on
it
you. I am
when it
impressed.
comes when it comes to black music in America, um, I'm going to go with Babyface.
I knew it. I knew
And the reason why I'm going to go with Babyface is because he has done so much outside of just him.
Mm,
So we have
mm.
After Seven, we have Brandy, we have Tony Braxton, we have the Soul Food soundtrack, we have the Waiting
Waiting
to
to
Exhale
exhale,
soundtrack, we
child.
have,
Mm.
Karen White, we have Kevin Tambell, we have Bobby Brown. We have even stuff he did with Mariah Carey. I wish there was a performance of him and Mariah doing Every Time I Close My Eyes because that's one of
it.
my favorite records. So just what Babyface has given us, um, and if he plans on doing all of those records in conjunction with his own, that is going to be a show of a lifetime. And if it's a farewell show, I'm pretty sure he's going to go grab those folks
He's
to
bringing the
come sing
girls
those
out.
records. And while I love Anita Baker, and I feel like she has Sweet Love is one of the greatest love songs that was ever made, um, it's a limited show because it's going to be her music, right? And with Babyface, it's not going to be as limited because he's done so much that it's going to be him. Basically
Yeah.
going to be a Babyface and Friends concert.
Yeah.
So that's my
Well,
thinking.
Points made.
very good. Shanti, do you agree?
I agree wholeheartedly, but I love Sade, so I would go see
I knew
Sade.
you
But
would pick
everything
Shanti.
that you said is very reasonable, very true. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Speaking of Babyface,
hmm
producers,
hmm
okay?
Okay.
Rank them, all right? Who you calling first? Who you calling second? Who you calling third?
Okay.
Babyface,
Okay.
Quincy Jones. No, I don't want
Okay.
like that question. Not rank
Okay.
them. Who you calling? I'm
Okay.
gonna rephrase that.
Okay.
Who? Just rank them in general, in
Okay.
terms of just their catalog.
Okay.
Babyface,
Okay.
Quincy Jones,
Okay.
Teddy Riley.
Okay. So it's gonna be Teddy Riley coming in number 3.
Okay.
I love him. I love him.
Okay.
Again, Babyface is just that. Number 2, and it's gonna be Quincy Jones because Michael
I
Jackson.
love you. You get
There's
it.
there's there's no way, but also Quincy Jones also for We of the World. Um, it's just that was a
Quincy Jones,
moment,
what? I missed what you said.
We are
We
the
of the
world.
World. We are the
Mhm.
world. Um, and I think that's also what we're missing from today's artists too. I don't know if we can do We Are the World. I don't know if we can do, songs like that, So to be able to put something like that together and to make everyone sound good and to do something like that, I think is really special. But Thriller,
Hello,
Thriller,
Frank Sinatra.
right?
Hello, soundtrack. Like he gave us soundtracks, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Quincy gave us Frank fucking Sinatra and also gave us Secret Garden. You can't tell me
mm-hmm,
nothing. You can't tell
right,
me nothing about that man. That is the
yeah,
greatest of all time. You're
yep.
brilliant. All right. Let's get
I just want you to know
like
you're making Internet so happy, and she's
you are
really
making me so
excited. So
happy. You
I
have
thank
no
you. I just
idea.
want to thank you for how You are scratching an itch for her,
Such
and good work by you, Internet.
Shut up. All right. Runs. All right.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Are you ready
Oh.
for this one?
Mhm.
Your life depends on the cleanest runs.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
I want you to order these and who you calling.
Okay.
Now this is hard. All right?
Okay. Okay.
Brandy,
Mhm.
Jazmine,
Mhm.
Keke Wyatt,
Mhm.
Ledisi,
Mhm.
Yeba, and
Mm.
Mackenzie. I ain't even throw Avery in there. I just kept it all women, but I'll leave it alone. And I didn't throw the background singers because ain't nobody gonna know what I'm talking about. But
Okay.
take a
ain't
breath.
answering that.
Take a breath.
So I would say this: Keke is not a runner girl. She can do them,
Mm,
but she's known for her belting.
mhm.
At least in my mind, right? She can
Okay.
run, but she's known for that squall, that belt from her chest, right? That's gonna pierce, right? And then maybe popping up into that falsetto and head voice. So we're gonna put her at the bottom. Now, Keke, I
That's the
love you.
last call.
I'm not saying you can't run,
This is
but
just a very specific question.
you like Jennifer Hudson are known for those big notes, and we love a
Yes.
girl who can do big notes because that matters.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do Mackenzie next. Mackenzie is a
Wow.
brilliant
Okay.
singer, great runs. Um, but I think I really love her tone more, like her
Oh,
airy, soft tone that she's able to do. And then, but I also feel like Mackenzie is not she's not a run girl more so than she's a choice girl. Mackenzie is a choice girl. She
the
makes some
Talk
of the
about that.
arrangements
I'm
most
that
sorry, I don't
comes
know what
out
that
of her,
means.
brilliant. She makes some of the most brilliant choices I have
vocal
ever
choices,
heard
Shanti.
in
Okay,
my
okay.
life. She's a choice
Oh,
girl. Okay. So lastly, we have Ledisi, Jazmine,
Jazmine, Yeba, and
Yeba,
Brandy.
Brandy. So I'm gonna say Ledisi next. Ledisi to me is not known for her run. She is known again. She's known for those big notes, but also Ledisi is a scat woman.
Woo!
Okay,
Talk to me nice.
her scatting is one of the best that I have ever witnessed. I have ever heard. She is like you can't take that away from her. That is one of that's her superpower is her scatting.
She's up there with Rochelle and Layla. And I
Yes.
didn't even put Layla in this. You're
Right.
welcome.
Thank you.
Continue.
Next I'm gonna do Yeba.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And I'm gonna do Yeba. Because
She's white.
while
No, I'm playing.
Yeba no, no.
I'm playing.
She
We're white.
Yeba.
JK.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay. Back to what I was saying. 'Cause don't I didn't say that.
You did not.
Um, I did not. Just want to go on the record and say that. She she is also like Mackenzie with her choices.
Mm.
But I feel like her runs compared to Jasmine's and Brandy's, she just would not. She's just I'm not gonna put her above them. So
Okay.
she's great, but I want her as number 3. Okay.
Don't do us no
So
favors. Just say with your
I'm
chest.
not I'm not if my life depended on it, I'm gonna do Jasmine second.
I know.
And I love Jasmine. Jasmine, if you watch this, I'll cook you something dinner or something. I'll take you to lunch. um, but I can't put Jasmine over Brandy just because without Brandy there would be no Jasmine, right? And Jasmine has said this out her mouth. Jasmine has said this out her mouth. This is
She
not
can
my
say it.
words.
I would
She
agree.
has said this. But I would say Brandy because I would say Brandy outside of church, right? If you weren't a church kid and knew the Clark
Right.
sisters and knew Kim Burrell, you weren't like
Yeah.
runs weren't like a thing for you. But if you were in R&B and under LaShawn Daniels, rest in peace, his vocal production, Brandy is the mother of runs in R&B. She has birth. She has sons and daughters running around here trying to recreate her sound, right? So for me, and I say this because as someone who Full Moon I was at an age where I could really digest it and learn it. The things that Brandy did on that album, I never heard before. Rodney Jerkins was pushing her so hard because at the time he was working with Michael Jackson. He was like, "Do you want to be Michael? Do you want to be as big as Michael? You got Michael on one of these backgrounds on your records, so you know what I mean?" Like, and she wasn't drinking. I don't know if she was a drinker then because I think she was pregnant. So the vocals were pristine, right? Because she also didn't have the baby then, so her vocal, when women have babies, sometimes their vocal range drops. So it was like the maturity off of Never Say Never, and what Brandy did on When You Touch Me, on I Thought, on Like This, on Apart, on Anybody, on Can We, on He Is, like, it just was like, it's like, goddamn, like, how do I, like, there's always something new that you can find in that album. So
And
for
it's
that,
not an album of hits.
right,
If you know it, you know it.
you know. So for me, Brandy making that album puts her at number one for runs because she was just on something that no one else was on. For me, it was a cultural reset in how
Wow.
how R&B was sung.
You hear that, Brandy? You hear that? He done chose you over my damn friends. Like, I'm playing. Shout out to Brandy. Brandy's been nothing but nice to Jazmine. All right.
Yes.
Just two more, maybe three.
Okay. Okay.
If you had to listen to only one of these artists for the rest of your life, who would it be? Keith Sweat, Jacquees, and Trey Songz.
It's so bad. Look at her face. Look at Branford's face. That's right. Keep it together.
No.
Let's go.
I have
Where's your water?
I have my answer. I have my answer. No,
All
I have my
right.
answer.
And why?
Now, it's not going to be Keith Sweat. It's not going to
Nobody.
be Jacquees. It's going to be Trey Songz.
Ooh,
And the
vibrato.
reason why it's going to be Trey Songz is that Trey Songz' Ready album, for me, is probably top 50 R&B albums ever made when it comes to what R&B is, right? When you go back and really listen to the project, right? And you listen to Neighbors Know My Name. Let's talk about Scratching Me Up. Jupiter Love. Can't Help But Wait. Say Ah. That was popping when I was in college. It had all of us in a chokehold, right? Shout out to my 2009 graduates. That song from 2009 to 2013 was played at every single party. The slow jams, Neighbors Know My Name, was played at every single party to close it out. But even what is that one song? Crap. I'm looking it up right now.
Top 50 of all time.
I do because it was just
Standing by that.
listen,
10 toes down.
the panty dropper intro, Neighbors Know My Name, Invented Sex, I Need a Girl. Does he do it? Does he do it? Come on now. Like,
Child.
Say Jupiter
You
Love.
remember how Prince was looking at him when he was singing Purple Rain?
I'm sorry.
Why
I'm
did they
sorry.
have him do that?
I'm sorry.
Who made that
I'm sorry.
decision?
Love Lost, Holla
I
If You
actually
Need
like
Me,
Love Lost.
Yo Side of the Bed. Those were great R&B
They
records.
were
Shout out to
great
Choice.
songs.
They
Very
were great
good.
songs.
Very good word choice. Those were great records.
They
And
were
we'll
great
leave it at that.
records. And when you have a lot of great records on one album, like you can't listen, he may be who he is, and I do not condone anything, but that album, when that came out during the time, out of the people that you named, that body of work definitely had major influence on R&B. And Troy Taylor and the work that he did with Trey was some of the best R&B music, I think, created, especially for that era.
All
So
right.
out of all those choices, it'll probably be Trey Songz. And then also too, I remember my friends being obsessed with the first album. So like Cheat on You, In the Middle, Gotta Go, like yeah, those were songs like that
Shout
also
out
have
to Trey
like
Songz.
memories.
Shout out to Trey Songz and his vibrato. Um, Moving right along. We have finally, I'd like for you to give, how do I want to do that? Give the Oscar to
Not the Grammy?
these, or the Grammy. I want you to give the Oscar and the Grammy. There
Mhm.
you go.
Okay, okay,
And an Emmy and a Tony.
okay.
Tricky.
Oh,
To
EGOT, okay,
these four singers turned actors.
okay,
Okay? We
okay,
have Jamie Foxx,
okay,
we have Jill Scott, we
okay,
have Jennifer Hudson, and we have
okay.
Whitney Houston.
Okay.
I think I should be a game show host.
I have my answer. I'm just thinking of why I'm picking my answer and why I'm
Okay.
saying this, right? Okay. Jamie Foxx was always going to be a star, right?
Always.
And his acting was superb. And his, there's no reason for him that he was never going to get it. He was going to get the role to do it because he put in the work, right? The work ethic is there, the talent is there. So it's not going to be Jamie. It's not going to be Whitney for the same reasons. Because she is the voice. It was gonna happen for her probably at some point, right? And you said Jennifer Hudson and who else?
And Jill Scott.
Jill Scott. It's not gonna be Jill Scott. It's gonna be Jennifer
Wow.
Hudson.
You gave it
And
to the
why it's gonna
actual EGOT.
and why it's gonna be Jennifer Hudson? It's because similar to myself, I feel like in my life, I've always known I was going to do something great. I didn't know what it was. Like, I've always known my parents ain't named me Branford for no reason. I don't know what it is, but I know there's more outside of Abington and Philadelphia for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that moment on American Idol when Fantasia, LaToya London, and Jennifer Hudson were in the bottom three of American Idol. And how much of a gut punch that was to me and to every other Black person around the country. And we knew at that time that American Idol made stars. They were in the business of star making. And if you won, right? And the fact that the three of the best vocalists on that season were in the bottom three, I never forgot about Jennifer. And to see her while I was in high school, because Dreamgirls came out when I was in high school, to come back and get a role like Effie White and be singing your ass off like that. I remember, because back in the days of LimeWire, things leaked early in Concrete Loop. So I'm showing my age with that,
Shout
right? I
out
came
to
from,
Concrete Loop.
shout out to Angel, right? I
Yeah.
came from those days, and I don't know if it was Angel's page or if it was newjams.net that leaked the early version of Jennifer Hudson's And I'm Telling You. So I remember being in my room in complete darkness. I don't know why. I was just in my room. I was like, you know what? Let me just listen to this before I go to bed. And I heard her version, And I'm Telling You. When I told you, I felt like the spirit compelled me to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
I've until that time, I've just never heard that song sung like that. And I said, oh my God, like this was divine. This was divine. Like God was like, cool, I got something else better for you lined up that is going to put you where I always knew you were going to be, where you deserve to be. And that movie with her, Jamie Foxx, Beyonce, uh, Anika
Anika.
Nani Rose, that renewed my love for music, my love for musical theater, my love for Black musical theater. Um, and to see all of them together and just take over the world or make the world stop in some sort of way, that's why Jennifer gets it to me, because we love a comeback story and we love to see someone who was told that you're not going to be anything, you're not going to make it, and for her to come back and say, you know what, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to keep trying. And to do that, yeah, she gets it. She gets it. Because Dreamgirls just meant that much to me.
Go ahead, Shanti.
I was just going to say, thank you for just sharing your expertise. And I really hope after this experience that you feel more open to sharing you and your knowledge and your, just your expertise that you have about this, because it's very, very clear. And you're teaching me things, and it's clear about your passion and how close this is to your heart and your purpose. So I really hope that I know that you continue to put yourself in the forefront and these wonderful ideas and opinions and just deep knowledge and appreciation you have for the culture. So
thank you.
That's all. I was just like, yes. Very good.
I think I second all of that. I echo that, and I think what you just said about Jennifer is the perfect place to leave it. And I hope that inspired the shit out of the listeners, because it inspired me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your courage to just
contributions,
follow your heart. Yeah, to do what is necessary. There's a need and you're filling it. And so I appreciate you. I look forward to your posts. You bring me more joy than you know.
Thank you.
And everybody, if you are not hip to They Have the Range, please make sure you follow. Please make sure you support when you see events, when you see festivals, when you see award shows, when you see new projects coming from Mr. Branford Jones. All right. Thank you. Is there anything that you want to, is there anything else you want to say or need to plug or anything?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you both. Thank you for loving on me. Thank you for supporting me. It means a lot. There are so many times where I felt like I want to give up, where I feel like, you know what, I'm deleting this page because I don't got time for this no more. I'm tired. Like, I was just like, so many days I get tired of trying to fight through the politics, the games. But the moment I find a person singing in their bathroom and I'm able to witness their genius in that quick 1-minute clip, and to be able to post them and expose them to so many other people that can also witness their genius, that's what keeps me going. And I think for so long, we are taught not to see the genius in others. Or we're taught to look for like the negative things or the things we don't like. But there's also so much good out there. There's also so much powerful people out there that just don't have access to the resources. They don't have access to the visibility. And if I can follow in the footsteps of, a Soul Train or Don Cornelius that gave visibility for Black vocalists and Black performers to be their true authentic selves and to be celebrated, that's just what I want to do. Because this has been a blessing over my life. I truly believe that this is my purpose, and that no one can take it away from me, and that my steps are ordered and ordained by God, and no one on this earth can get in front of that. And I'm just so happy that I get to wake up every day and just watch people in their sheer brilliance. So I thank you for allowing me to tell my story to allow more people to know who I am and why I do this. And that it's not a clout thing. It's not me wanting to be famous. It's about seeing that Black vocalists are pioneers. We have been.
Mm.
Something that I saw on the 1619 project was that Black music is uncatchable. And Black singers have also been uncatchable to me because we just hear so many great voices that inspire others, that others study, and that others, keep elevating the music. And that's really all it is. And so all I want is to have the vehicle and be the vessel for others to just elevate the music, and make other people happy, and for folks to find some light and positivity in their lives, especially on social media where everything can be so dark, and we're quick to snap on one another, just because that's the culture that was created. So just to kind of be a disruptor and have something that's the antithesis of that negativity, is the goal. So thank you for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it. And I feel like this is like my first, like this is like my second one, but like I thank you for making me feel comfortable to be open like this because it's super important. So yeah.
Listen, y'all, there's nothing else to say. Take that, do good in the world, follow your heart, and have the courage to see the genius in one another. All right.
I'm gonna share my singing video with you too. And
oh God. All right.
I'm gonna
and
share
with that, we are out. Stop the recording.
Bye.